Okay, we're going to learn how to do a one-point perspective. You're going to get a clear straight edge like this. You're going to get a pencil and an eraser and a piece of paper. That's what you need to make one-point perspective. Take your paper, fold it in half, and you want to make that fold pretty much as perfect as you can get it. Get those edges lined up right next to each other. Make that fold really, really well. Then open it back up, and using your straight edge, you're going to draw in your horizon line. Now, the straight edge obviously doesn't go all the way across the paper, so you just move your straight edge right across paper there. Continue it on. Okay, then about in the middle, I'm going to make a dot right there. This is called the vanishing point. The vanishing point is where it looks like everything sort of vanishes off into the distance. So what we're going to do now is we're going to build our city. First thing we need to do is we need to make our streets. So you take it from the vanishing point, you're going to draw a diagonal line out, and then you're just going to pivot from the vanishing point, draw a diagonal out. Okay, then on the end of each block you're going to create a rectangle. Now remember, a square can be a rectangle, but a rectangle can't be a square. Something like that. So although a square is a rectangle, so if you draw a square, then that's fine. Okay, so there's one of my rectangles. Looks pretty square, but whatever. There is my other rectangle, and it's okay if it goes almost all the way to the edge like this. Okay, like so. Then you're going to take the corner of your rectangle, line that up with the vanishing point, then the top corner, the other side there, line it up with the vanishing point. Now you can see how that looks 3D. Okay, so draw both rectangles, take the top corners to the vanishing point. I'll do this on this side too. Go ahead and do that now. Now when you're drawing these, make sure you're not drawing too darkly, otherwise it will be harder to erase it. Okay, now we have basically two lawn blocks, all one big giant store, potentially. So we're going to add some variety to that and add some different heights. First one I'm going to show you is just to make this first store here, this first building. To do that, you simply make a horizontal line. And if you're having trouble figuring out a horizontal line, be sure you're looking at the entire ruler. If you're off a little bit, you're going to be able to see that if you're looking at the whole ruler. You might not be able to tell if you're just looking right here. If you're still having trouble, line the edge of your straight edge with the edge of the paper. Horizontal line there, and then a vertical line touching that horizontal line, like that. Then right next to it, and this is why you have a clear straight edge, because you can see, you're just going to make parallel lines there. Okay? Then erase here and here and add the floor of that building that is behind our first building. Add the back wall to to that second building as well. Now it looks like we have two buildings. One is exceedingly long, however. So now we're going to build another building behind this one. To do that, first thing you need to do is to build the square, or I'm sorry, the rectangle. And we're going to have this go above the horizon line. At this point, I should note, the closer to the vanishing point and the closer to the horizon line, the more difficult it is to draw. So we're going to go past that horizon line pretty far. And we're going to continue to make that rectangle. However, when you come down this way, go ahead and stop when you get right there. Okay, go ahead and do that now. And erase your horizon line. Okay. And end the building number 2. So this will be 1, 2, and then we're building our third one. So we're going to go ahead and end building 2 by making a horizontal line and then a vertical line. Okay? And then we're going to erase all of those vanishing lines that go in to our next building, building number 3. Now with building number 3, it also needs vanishing points. So we take it from here, and I line it up with the vanishing point. I'm not going to draw it all the way to the vanishing point because I don't want it to go all the way to the vanishing point. So I'm just going to draw it to there. And then I go to my next one. Well, now look. It's going to go behind the entire building, so I don't even bother drawing it. If it's above the horizon line, you don't need to draw that second vanishing point line. Then from here down, erase those extra lines. Add the floor, and that's something people always forget to do, is to add that floor. A nice horizontal line there. There we go. Okay, so now I have 3 buildings. Building 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. One thing that people always ask me is, how do I add a sidewalk? Sidewalk is easy if you know what you're doing, but kind of complicated if you don't. What you do is you just add another line and another line. Now the trick here is then the sidewalk lines are just horizontal lines. People want to do these crazy weird diagonal lines. The only diagonal lines in this whole mess are lines that go to the vanishing point. So you should never have a diagonal line going like this. Okay, back to the sidewalk. Sidewalks are horizontal lines. The further away, the closer they look. So as I come closer to me, I add a little more distance in between each sidewalk. And I'm just eyeballing this. Like that. If you want the lines in the road, add shorter, closer together ones. Further back you are, making them longer, further apart, like that. Okay, now it's starting to come together here. I'm going to show you again how to build a building over here, and then I'm going to show you another trick. So I'm going to end this building right here. Like that. Then I'm going to make another building right next to it, just a little bit taller. Remember, I make that rectangle. I'm going to make that a really fat building. Now it's below the horizon line, so I'm going to go both sides there. Then a horizontal line starting there. Okay. Erase all these extras. And add the floor. All right. Now let's say I want a pitched roof right here, a pointed roof. To make a pointed roof, this is for people who really understand this stuff. So if you're still kind of hazy on this, you might not want to do a pointed roof. But you make an X from corner to corner on the roof of your building. Then you make a straight line up from the center of your X. From the center of your X, straight up. To as far as you want that pointed roof to be. That's as tall as my pointed roof. Then from that point, you go to every corner. I'm not going to go to the back corner because I'm not going to see it when I put this corner in. So right now that looks like the start of a tent. Then you erase all of this stuff here. There we go, like that. Okay, now that we've actually built the buildings, we're going to start with the embellishments, which are doors, windows, things like that. To make a door, it's the same principles that are used to make a building. You start with a rectangle. You start with the two sides here, and you go to the vanishing point for the top. Another way to look at this is you're following parallel lines. Parallel lines means two lines that will never cross. So they're going the same direction. So the side of the door is a vertical line. The side of the building is a vertical line. This side of the door, this side of the building, both vertical lines. The top of the door goes to the vanishing point. Well, the top of the building goes to the vanishing point. The bottom of the building goes to the vanishing point, and the bottom of the door goes to the vanishing point. So, conversely, if I wanted a window here or a door on this side, I would follow those parallel lines. Vertical line on this side, vertical line on this side. Horizontal line for the top of the building, horizontal line for the top of the window. Horizontal line for the bottom of the building, horizontal line for the bottom of the window. Vertical line for the side of the building, vertical line for the side of the window. Okay, like so. If I want to be able to see inside this window a little bit, like I want a little window ledge, That's how you would make it. And then when you shade that in, you can really see it pop out, or in as it would be. Okay. Now, if you want to build a building back here, you can totally do that. What you do is the same thing that you've been doing over here. You start with a rectangle. Okay, erase what you don't need, what needs to be overlapped, and then go to the vanishing point. End it. And since the bottom of the building is way down here, I don't see the bottom of the building. Okay. Signs. If you're going to make a sign, you can see how that sign there of 3 dashes doesn't look quite right. That's because a sign, like a window, also needs to go to the vanishing point. So if this is building number 3, the bottom of the sign goes to the vanishing point, the top of the sign goes to the vanishing point, the sides are vertical lines like that. Then when I write in, I write 1, 2, 3, just like that, and they're little Roman numerals there. See how that looks correct? Let's make this building a glass building. To do that, what you do is you keep your ruler on the vanishing point and you pivot. See, I'm pivoting. Okay. Fix that real quick. Okay. Then I can just make those windows like that. And if I want my windows to wrap around the side of the building, I take my straight edge and I do horizontal lines because it is following the parallel lines of the top and the bottom of the building. And then I can make windows. Now, if I want this to be a brick building, that is different than a window building. I'll make this a brick building. I do the pivot on the vanishing point. To start off with. And I think that I'm going to make these a little bit skinnier because bricks are a little bit skinnier. You can see how I'm keeping that point at the vanishing point and moving my ruler, pivoting like that. I'm going to erase my little 1 here because that will get in my way. Bricks, then you do vertical lines. But the trick here is you go every other. So in the next line, I put it in the middle. Or what you could do is you could skip 1, skip 1, skip 1. Skip, 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 mark, skip, mark, skip, mark, skip, mark, skip, mark. There we go. See how that looks like bricks until we get to here? Because I wanted to put a little door there. I'll put a door on the other side. Mark. Okay, like that. Where again with the bricks, when you bring it around, horizontal lines, and you skip every other. Like that. I think that's everything.